Do you have to come to Germany in order to learn German? I would like you healthcare professionals give my 2 cents about these topics. There are certainly situations where coming to Germany is quite useful, others not. There is a current reason I'm talking about that. I just had a request from somebody who said to me, oh yeah, I'm planning to come to Germany to do my B1 or something like that, but I only have a limited budget, so I have to be careful with the money. So there I'm saying, whoa, careful. First of all, let me start out generally. I think that learning German in Germany is overrated. There are excellent possibilities to learn German in, for example, the Goethe Institute, which I do not just recommend to you like a recommendation, don't get me wrong. The Goethe Institute, or how you say in English, Goethe or something like that, which is wrong, so it's Goethe. that institute is famous. They certainly do have their standards. I cannot say anything about them specifically, okay? So this is just my personal opinion. But if you're really in need of a German course, you can always go to them. They're quite expensive though, so other options you might evaluate. But what I'm driving at is you certainly do not have to come to Germany to learn German. So there is this general notion of, well, you learn the German best in the country. Well, you come to Germany with, I don't know, an A2, and nobody will talk German to you anyways. I mean, you will hear it when you move around, but people are fluent in English, they will talk to you in English most of the time. And those few things that you pick up just, by socializing with people, that is not really learning German. That will take you ages to learn German that way. There are people living in Germany, for years, and they don't pick it up. So I do think the better you are in German already, the higher your level is. If you already have a B2, then it might make sense, because then also you will be able to actually interact in German language, and so people will talk to you in German. Ergo, you will also pick some things up, get you more fluent, get more conversational and all that. So the better you are, the better it is to be in Germany. Now, most of you, when you are now thinking about coming to Germany as a healthcare professional, you will be around B1 at least or better. So it might make sense, but don't overvalue it. It's easily overvalued. I've seen very successful people who had German in school for a couple of years and then took some specific courses in their home country. And then I have them in an assessment and I'm like, wow, how did you learn German so well? Have you been in Germany? No, actually I haven't. So, but that will take a time. So do you really think that coming to Germany will speed up the process? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. It might give you the environment, but you can create a certain kind of German environment wherever you are. I mean, if you cannot even listen to a German TV program, it is unlikely that coming to Germany will considerably improve your German. But of course, it has also a whole other dimension, and that is not only the language in itself. If you need motivation, like just a reason to learn it finally, and you want to come to Germany for that, well, be my guest. If you feel like you want to get to know the country, come to Germany. I don't think you should go to live in a country and make such a life decision without having ever visited for maybe more than 2 weeks, maybe for 3 or 4 weeks, and having traveled a bit, getting a sense for it and all that. And it's good for that, but let's not confuse things. Getting to know a country in order to make a life decision is something else than coming with the purpose of learning a language. So I hope I'm clear there. You can very well take a good course or get a personal trainer who can very cheaply over the long term with just 1 hour per week over a long time. And that's not me because I'm highly specialized in medical terminology and so on. But somebody you get over Skype and, you know, you get people for $25 or 20, you know, who are just native speakers and will be conversational with you. And so you can feel like, okay, you know, you stay on the topic, you do that once a week for like a few months. It will not be too expensive, will be maybe nicer than just a group course, which, you know, might just not be your thing, okay? So there are many ways. And you combine that with listening to, you know, online TV programs. Everything is there. I mean, if you want to listen to German language, you have a lot to choose from. You know, there are medical programs out there which have a good quality, so you can even listen to medical terminology if of course that is what you want to do. So I don't think there really is that big argument of, oh, you have to come to Germany in order to learn German. That is really not the case. Another trap here is that most of you are on a budget. So before you reach your final goal, which is getting the job you're aiming for and getting paid, it is not smart to accumulate a lot of debt by being in Germany, living, spending money the German way, which is you cannot live under, I don't know, under 800 euro a month. This is quite impossible. It will rather be closer to 1,000 euro a month that you will have to spend no matter where you are, unless you do not have to pay for a flat and nothing like that, because for some specific reasons you do have friends and so on. But you will need a certain budget. So you have to take into account that when you have a budget for a certain time that you do not work and you stay in Germany, that there are waiting times that are quite inevitable. You know, you wait for the FSP exam, you wait for this, you wait for your documents to be revised by the Ärztekammer. It all takes ages. So if you take this time that you probably cannot avoid being in Germany on your own budget, and then you add to that months that you were in Germany just to get your A2 or B1, I would say that is really money that is wasted. You will need that money later. Invest that money rather in the later stages of your process, getting the work permit and whatever you need in order to, you know, get a job. I would not spend that on the early levels of German. I wouldn't think that that's a smart investment. Of course, if you do have the money and if you don't care about it, you can do that. But most are not in that situation. It wouldn't be the typical case, all right? So I hope I could debunk that myth a little that you have to come to Germany. That would be so much better. You know, it is usually not worth the extra money. If you would just invest that money that you spend for housing and living in Germany and not working at the same time, if you would just take this money and spend it in some student who is giving you Skype sessions and who is DAF, Deutsch als Fremdsprache student, or somebody, you know, it doesn't have to be somebody so sophisticated with it. You know, you can start out very simple. You can find people online and, you know, people who freelance in that area. Language teachers are quite available. There is no real shortage of them. Teaching languages is very popular in Germany, and you can get somebody with a very low entry level of, you know, when it comes to the money. And if you take that money, these few hundred euro every month, and you put that in such a person, you can get some formidable classes out of that, you know. So that's my recommendation. I think it's overrated, and make the decision wisely. And if people want to make you believe, like, you know, the best way to do, you have to go to the country, I would say it's simply stupid. And I mean, let's be honest, when Germans say, I want to learn English, I go to England or Australia, I mean, you use it as a reason to travel. Okay. okay? And if that is a reason to come and see Germany, then please do it. But maybe you can do better things with your time in Germany than just sitting in a language class, all right? It's different though when you are here anyways and you wait for your documents to be processed at the Ärztekammer or something like that. If you have to wait for 3 months, then on the other hand, it is stupid to not use the time and do something specifically. I've worked with many of my clients who have spent months in Germany, but have almost no delta when it comes to my voice is breaking. Have almost no delta when it comes to their German language because they don't do nothing about it. They're just sitting there. So just, you don't learn German through osmosis. It doesn't work that way. You just don't sit in Germany and it's just coming magically in you just because you're in the country. It doesn't work that way. You have to put active energy. And actually, the better you are, the more you will also have to do stuff actively. Because once you have a B2, even if it's a weak B2, people will start understanding you and they will stop correcting you. They might talk German to you, but you will need people who take the time to tell you what's wrong. And a group course might be good for that, but might also be nicer to have a tandem or somebody who gives you one-on-one feedback and tells you what's wrong. And then you have to sit down and learn and study what you have to change. Language is a skill. And I also think that you cannot compress the time to learn a language down. The people who go through the exams and then say, oh, I passed without even taking a real course. Those are usually people who had a quite good language level because they had German in school. If you really check what they didn't learn German just a year ago and then passed all the exams easily. No, they usually would say, 9 out of 10 of these people who say, I didn't even really needed a specific intervention in order to get through my courses. They do have a certain specific background with German language. So don't take that as a general rule, okay? So I think this can be a good guideline for you how to get that organized and avoid trouble, avoid mistakes, avoid your staying for months and months in Germany. Your money runs out, and then you have, of course, significant problems. And I've seen that enough. So this is why I felt sharing that information with you. I hope it helps you. And take my word for it, and make a careful decision, make it case by case, and be smart.